I've come across something that deeply disturbs me, and hopefully by the end of this video, it will for you as well. I hope that you become outraged and realize that we've been cheated, okay? The opportunity has been afforded to us and we squandered it. We don't have what we could have. And let me explain to you. This here is Shonen Jump magazine. This was a monthly serialized magazine that could be shipped directly to your house here in the United States of America. This ran for years, actually. I came across it in mid-2024 and held my subscription until it switched over to digital. That's the thing that frustrates me. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, so keep that on the back burner. But this is a thick boy, hundreds of pages. In fact, in some of them, they even tell you how many pages of manga you're going to get. Now, this right here was $4.99. I don't recall what the subscription had it on or if you saved money, but I do think that you saved a little bit of money, so it may have been a little bit less. But you could go to Walmart. These were just at Walmart all the time and just buy it. Brand new, in package. It was there. And you got chapters of several different things. Now let me show you what some of them are. In this specific issue right here, you had Hikaru no Go. Have you ever heard of that? Maybe not, but maybe you've heard of Yu Yu Hakusho. You've got Dragon Ball Z. You've got Naruto, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh! And then at the very bottom there, you've got Shaman King? Yes, Shaman King. Some of the greats, and at the time, some of them weren't even terribly well known. One Piece was still getting off the ground. I mean, if you take a look at the cover right here, Shaman King is at the forefront. And right there is Luffy. So, One Piece was still getting established. It was not quite the big one that it's considered today. But this right here is where it got started. Well, not this one specifically. It got started in this bad boy. This is the only one that I have, so I gotta show you. And in this specific one, it didn't have One Piece. This is from 1994, which actually predates One Piece by a little bit there. This is Weekly Shonen Jump. This is what they got in Japan. See that? Do you see that comparison? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. This isn't the part that I'm upset about. Okay, you know, it's from Japan. You know, they're going to have a little bit more going on. Manga is more prevalent there, so they are running more manga than what they would have in America. America gets some of the more well-known ones, but in Japan, even lesser-known ones get a shot in Weekly Shonen Jump. Weekly Shonen Jump is enormous, and this isn't unnatural. This is a pretty average size for a Weekly Shonen Jump. Now, why am I calling it Weekly Shonen Jump? Come on, the answer is obvious. It's because it comes out every week. There's 52 of these a year. This came out once a month. 12 of them in a whole year. 52, 12. That's insane. But let me tell you what's frustrating. This is what's actually frustrating. One of the two things. This, back in 2004, $4.99. They maintained $4.99, kept it a pretty good price. And honestly, that's not a bad price. That's not a bad price at all. This is like $2. If you convert the yen to USD, do that calculation, this is like $2 today. This is 21 years old, and it was $5 then. You can go and buy a 2025 issue of Weekly Shonen Jump in Japan for $2. What? They have a very well thought out process in making these. I believe they use recycled paper. It's an insanely cheap process to make these. They've got it down pat. And you can go and buy them every single week and keep up to date with One Piece and everything like that through a physical format if that's what you prefer. For $2. $2. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, that's less than the $5 a month that woman was complaining that people wouldn't donate to. Like, What the heck? Why don't we have that? Why do we not have that? That is one of the things I'm frustrated about. Now, if you want to get your fix on physical manga media here in America without learning Japanese and importing them directly, you got to get one of these, okay? It's specialized for just the manga in question. It's a graphic novel. And these days, one of these bad boys is going to cost you $10, $11 a piece if you want to buy them brand new. That's insane. That's insane. And that brings me to the second thing that I'm frustrated about. I'm frustrated at Viz Media, okay? Viz Media, they're the ones that make these. They're the ones that make these. Oh, sorry, made these. Because back in 2011, 2012 era, they made the decision to just switch themselves to digital. As if people can't just find the manga online digitally for free. They made the decision to do that. And yes, it's not an expensive service. Some people do it. But I miss this. I miss getting Shonen Jump every month. And in addition to that, I know that the process can be made. Maybe there's some effort to put into it, but they could do it. They could take this and make it into a cheaper process. I don't get why they don't. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get it. Maybe some of you get it. I would love it if you would explain to me what happened. Why we can't have something like this here in America, because this is enormous. This sucker right here. It's crazy. It's crazy how big these things are. These things are crazy. And man, they're just so fun. I don't understand anything that's going on here. I speak zero Japanese. I don't know a single Japanese word, like written. I could speak a couple words of it, but it's a lot of soccer. They're playing a lot of soccer. I feel like I know what that manga is. I feel like I know. I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry. Yeah, here's a newer one. I actually found this at a thrift store the other day. $10 brand new. $10 to buy this brand new. I don't get it. I don't understand. I just feel like we could do better. Anime has become pretty big in America, and it feels like manga's kind of fallen off to the side a little bit. And I love manga. I loved getting those Shonen Jump magazines every single month. I was so giddy. I'd be getting dropped off the bus at my grandma's house because this was right around the time. I was like middle school. I started getting these. You know how I got these? It's actually fascinating to me. In middle school, we had this thing called the Scholastic Book Fair. I'm sure most places in America, I would hope, do stuff like this. My kid currently gets to experience the Scholastic Book Fairs. I'm always really excited for her every time one pops up because she's so excited about books. There's like 300 toddler books here, just at the bottom half of this bookshelf. It's insane. And she's just all about getting more books. She loves books. Like me when I was a kid. Love that stuff. And I got the flyer for it one time. And sitting in that flyer was an issue that stood out to me. Because at this time, I had watched Dragon Ball Z pretty much in its entirety. I believe that it had ended years ago at that point. And I loved it. First anime I ever experienced. Still always going to hold a big place in my heart. I love Dragon Ball Z. And at that Scholastic Book Fair flyer, there was an issue of Shonen Jump. It had one of these just sitting there, available in the Scholastic Book Fair. And it had Vegeta on the front, all smirky and whatnot. I believe it was also a 2000... Was it a 2004 issue? I think it may have been a 2004 issue. And I was like, holy crap. What is this? Dragon Ball Z? But in book form? I honestly had no idea what manga was at that time. The Scholastic Book Fair was the first thing to introduce me to manga. So I got it because it was only a few bucks. I was able to get that at the Scholastic Book Fair. And then inside of the Shonen Jump magazine, it had the mail-in thing to start a subscription. You send in the money for it. You're you're set. You're good to go. And I convinced my grandma to do it. You know, I didn't have my own money really at the time. I mowed lawn a couple times, stuff like that, and boom. There we go. I had the Shonen Jump subscription, and I held that thing. That thing was locked in until they ended it. I loved it. Every time I got dropped off the bus expecting it to be there, I knew about the time that it would be delivered every single month. I'd run up her driveway just all excited, and I'd get that new issue of Shonen Jump, pop it open because it's sealed in plastic. It's not like you go to the store and see these here, and they're just sitting on the shelf, and, you know, maybe you get like a little vague hint of new book smell. These were sealed, airtight, like no leakage whatsoever, in plastic. Pop that open, and the new book smell just wafted right out into my face. It was incredible. Reading manga was great. It made me have such a great appreciation for the anime too, seeing how they adapt something from the manga to anime, the differences and things like that. I often found myself liking to read the manga as well as watch it. I actually have right here Dragon Ball Z. And I got all of them. I got Dragon Ball Z, the whole 9 yards, and I absolutely loved reading it. It was a whole different experience, despite it being the same franchise. And I honestly can't say that I liked either one more or less. And I mean, it wasn't Dragon Ball Z Kai that I was watching. It was the OG Dragon Ball Z that had some fillers, you know, and had some stuff in there that wasn't in the manga. I like them both equally. I love them both. And it kind of sucks that you can't just go and get Shonen Jump as it was available back then. And this isn't one of those things where I'm like, well, it's unfair that Japan gets to do that and we don't get to do that. It's not that. Japan's not the enemy. Okay? Viz Media is the enemy. Do better. That's the point of the video. Do better. Okay? Bring back Shonen Jump. I will subscribe to that every month. My fiance will hate me for it. Every single month, another one of those big behemoth books shows up, and I plop it down on that shelf once it's done to add to my collection. Oh, she hates collections. She hates my collections. She's a minimalist, but here I am with a whole bunch of stuff. But hey, that's the video, guys. Hey, I recently did a deep dive into a old Toonami show, so please go check that out. Leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.